that we walk is lost in the flood. Well, angels bathing their wages of blood. This the world is doing of tomorrow. Okay. How to hold that paddle beat. I'll go that paddle beat. How about that paddle beat? How's it half that paddle there? Coming home, riding home, 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 riding home, riding home. Okay. All right. Hello, everyone. Welcome to the stream today. It is my pleasure to have you here with me today on this Valentine's Day. Happy Valentine's Day, Bun Buns. I hope that you have a cool day of love for yourself. You know, self-care Valentine's. It can be your own Valentine's, no matter what. Let's get the video game on the screen. I sang you a romantic melody. Just kidding. Okay, can you see this? That's not right. Yeah, okay. That doesn't seem correct. Okay, here we go. Good. Cool. Nice. Oh my god. I have not had this year's flu vaccine and I'm really concerned. I was starting to... Last night, I could not sleep. So I haven't been able to sleep for 3 days. And last night I was tossing and turning. I was really hot and then it was really cold. Not good. I got some issues. And so how's my eye been? Good, actually. Yeah, I've been taking those eye drops from the doctor. And so the eye's fine. But I'm worried I'm coming down with something. Yeah, I know norovirus is going around. I thought I had norovirus already. It's my dog's named Nora. She's really cute. But that's a much more fun virus than what I'm talking about. Yeah. She's very cute. Still doing archery. Oh yeah, it's just difficult to do archery when it's real windy. And boy, it has been windy lately. I have tried to do a little archery in the strong wind and it is not that good. I am weak, and so when I shoot that arrow, it doesn't fly very fast. So I gotta the wind just blowing a little bit. That'll throw it off course. Yeah. Zep, is Nora calm now after the storms? Yes. However, we have some tornado forecasts. So if you don't know about this, did I tell you? Oh my God, I don't think I talked about it on the stream, but I talked about it in Discord. So a couple days ago, a random tornado appeared like minutes from my house. And I mean random. Like there was no tornado watch, no warning, no alert, nothing. It was just random. And it actually 3 people got injured. And there was like structural damage that happened because of this absolutely random tornado that came out of nowhere. Can you believe that? Oh my God. I have got to get the heck out of here, man. And now there was no tornado risk even. And there's going to be, now on Saturday, there's supposed to be another tornado, like an actual tornado risk. I can't live like this. How do people live like this for their whole life? Like, are you like always worried that you're going to get got by a tornado? If it's not a tornado, it's a hurricane. I can't, it's horrible. I gotta get out of here. I've gotta run, not walk out of here. That's my plan. I'm moving back to Seattle. I'm just gonna go back. Okay, I'm tired of guessing. I'm tired of playing the guessing game of if something's gonna be a nice place that I will like or not. Let's just go where we know about. Since it doesn't look like I'll be able to go back to Ukraine anytime soon. My hair is like really puffy today. So, anyway. Yeah. Oh, you're under the weather as well, Swig. I'm sorry to hear that. Tossing and turning from that info I shared with you clearly. Yes, it does keep me up at night after I found out about the absolute state of the modding situation in FFXIV. So, Lacrudent here sent me a list of like all the mods that there are. I'm actually not allowed to talk about this. I'm not supposed to talk about it. Why would you want to move to EU? Well, Ukraine is not in the EU, but my house is there. I have a house. Yeah, it was really nice, and I miss it very much. I would like to go home, please. Yeah, that's... How'd you feel about that? So actually, looking over that list, Lacrudent, of the mods, I mean, oh, you look at what a lot of them do, and they're pretty, like, I shouldn't say this. Okay, let me rephrase. Okay, let me rephrase. How can I put this? No one should ever use third-party tools. It's against the law. It's against the TOS, and I would never recommend that you do that. Even if many of them are offering incredible quality of life improvements to the game, that if they had been in the game legally, would be pretty fucking sick. But they're not, and therefore, you really shouldn't engage in the TOS breaking behavior. Don't do that. Don't do this. Don't. Let me put it this way. Yoshi P should get locked in a room for a full day with a client with plugins to learn what QOL they add to the game and what the game is very sorely missing. I think that he has done that. If you look at some of the new things that they've added, I think that they do this. And I think that's also maybe a reason why they are hesitant to like bring down the hammer really hard. They might see the value that some of these things illegally add to people that shouldn't do that. You wouldn't download a car, would you? Oh yeah, the new Peepo emote. So there's a new Peepo emote in Discord. I haven't gotten around to adding it to Twitch yet. It'll probably be here in Twitch next week. But did you see it? It's even animated now. I can show you maybe. I don't know how to show you that on Twitch. Yeah, you just have to look in Discord. It's in there. It's my sprite darter pet from WoW. Peepo. Yeah. I totally would never add third-party tools to put Demon Hunter tattoos on my Warrior of Light. That would be breaking the rules. That would be breaking the rules, and it would be wrong. And you should feel bad if that was you doing that. Because we don't allow that. Or condone or promote this behavior on here. No, I don't. No bunarchy. So today, we actually have some big FF14 news that I wanted to cover. But before I do that, there was other less big FF14 news. This, promotion of the Instacam. There's also new stuff in the online store, I believe. We are doing this Final Fantasy Fridays so far. Friday, we're having little FF chats. Can stay up to date with all the things going on in the game. Instax collaboration. I was curious about. Okay, so what does this actually mean? We are delighted to announce Final Fantasy will be collaborating with Instax, the instant camera from Fujifilm, to bring you an all-new emote for patch 7.18, due for release on Tuesday, 25th of February. Oh, that's soon. That's 2 weeks from now. Wait, is that the same day as the Undermined? I think so. I think so. We will also be hosting a screenshot sweepstakes campaign on X. Gross. Gross. No. For all who demand photographic perfection without delay, this instant camera toting emote will be implemented 7.18. Cool. Cool. I just got here. What's happened to the healers? They've been deleted from the game. We haven't started talking about that yet. You're good. Yeah. Okay. In-game item. So it doesn't say what you're gonna win if you win this screenshot campaign, but that's everybody can get the emote. Well, I like the idea of the camera that just takes a photo and like isn't a phone that has everything else attached to it. How terrifying / difficult would it be to come back to FF14? I stopped during Endwalker because my ex and I broke up at the time, and that's what we played. So did you finish Endwalker's story? Or like, did you stop during the patches? The most difficult thing about coming back to FF14 is figuring out how to give Square Enix money for your subscription. It's not difficult. But that part is. New Star Rail trailer for the next update dropped today. Oh. Ooh. Okay. Okay. It did? But it's gonna be spoilers for me because I haven't done Amphorius yet. I can't look at that. But I think that there are some character teasers and stuff to look at. Like Mizuki stuff. I need to look at that in a bit. How do I send the monies? I do not have enough time or hours in a day to explain that entire process. Hi Zepla, could you make a video about the overall state of jobs and players' expectations for 8.0? Maybe by doing a poll on X, for example. That is a long way away. I feel like jobs might change a lot between now and 8.0. I would probably make a video like that in 7.5. Because, you know, there's a lot of expectation being put on 8.0. A lot. Like, yeah. They got a lot to do. I hope they're busy. Yeah. I don't get why the camera thing, don't they already have that? There's not a camera emote? No, look how cute. That's a cute emote. Tigistan, hello, thank you so much. I appreciate you watching the content. Mog Station Ultimate, do be difficult to solo. Yes, that reminds me. There was a new thing added to the Mog Station. Let me, check it out. What was the new thing added to the store? Oh! Check it out. It's Zero's attire. So we have not only the Hilda hairstyle that's been added for $5, but also Zero's attire. Is this all dyeable in separate parts? Yeah, it is. Oh man, this should come with an emote though. You can't just release this without an emote. You know what I'm talking about. I like Zero Lalafell. Zero should have been a Lalafell. But really, like, you need the hat tip. Gotta have that. The hair I've wanted. Let's see it. Ooh, looks good on a bunny boy. I like that. Oh yeah. Good. I like it on a bunny boy. Very much. It's a nice top too. We want 0 Lalas. Hey, that's not what I said. That's not quite right. The top and gloves are one piece. Oh, the pants and boots are another. The top and gloves are one piece. So you can't have the gloves separate. Meh. Meh. I say to that. Okay. What else is there? People were really pissed that this is $5. And I get it. This is something players have asked and begged for and pleaded for since Heavensward. And so it's extra $5. It's kind of, yeah, I get it. I get it. I hear you. Where's it on the bunny? Haven't seen it on a bunny yet. I don't know if I'm gonna buy that. I probably will eventually. That's why it's $5. True. True. How does FF Online play compared to other MMOs? The best way for you to find that out is by doing the free trial. FF14 has a really sick free trial that lets you play for hundreds of hours. I'm not saying it. I'm holding back right now. I am holding back. I'm saying it. I'm not gonna say it. I'm not gonna say it. Oh, it's a desk. I don't have a place to put it. I guess I could put it in my apartment. This is a furnishing item for housing. Please note that the following may result in the loss of this item. The removal of this item by another player. Leaving or being discharged from free company. Unsharing an estate. Demolition of an estate. If your house is demolished, you get your items back though, right? I thought you did. I guess if somebody else's house was demolished, then maybe you would lose it. Say the words, Kaladin. No! Not saying it. Did you know the critically acclaimed Final Fantasy XIV MMORPG is a free trial that with no limits on playtime that includes the Realm Reborn and award-winning Heavensward and the Stormblood expansions up to level 70? That's not it. I just couldn't resist. I tried. I really tried to resist. I really tried hard. But I could not. Could not. For an even better deal, it doesn't come. I'm not saying that. Doesn't come. Okay, let's leave Crystarium, maybe. And go... Could go to Tuliala. Let's go to Tuliala. This is the era, okay? This is Dawntrail era. It's the time. This is the times we live in. Okay. We don't need to be sad old people hanging out in the favorite places of years gone by. Let's face facts. Here's my problem with Tulial. It's actually a beautiful city, but I just don't like the sun. I just don't like the sun. I don't. I like darkness. It's so bright. Okay. I'm a cave troll. Alright. That's why I'm under umbrella. That's good. Oh, a bunny. Store? Oh, you can't see the game. My bad. I was moving from one spot to the other spot. I couldn't know that. Happy Valentine's Day, Bun Buns. I haven't done the Valentine's event yet in the game, so maybe I should do that at some point today. It's that Undermine music in the background. I know! Undermine music is really good. It's very similar. Undermine music is like dirty jazz. It's so good. So smooth. Oh, reminder, the Tuliala music is getting copyright strikes from Square Enix. Oh yeah. So I have reached out to Square Enix about it, and they did resolve one of the strikes, the one from the media tour, but I think the other ones are still being resolved, so let's get the fuck out of here. Actually, yeah, let's get the fuck out of here. Yeah, let's just go to Charlie and fuck it. Why though? Indeed. Fuck this place. I tried to make it work. That was a short trip. Charlie. Yes. Okay, let's go. But yes, they have started copyright striking me for the music that is in the game while I'm playing the game. That's happened. It wouldn't be the first time that it's happened to people as well. Like, I know that people in the past got striked for playing Dragon Song or Answers, stuff like that you can't play, but this was definitely different because it's city music that plays in the city that you're in. Yeah, I don't know. I'll just, you know, this is my spot anyways. Sorry to Zepla followers. Is anyone here good enough to give me feedback on a new PC unit? You should go to our Discord server, discord.gg/ZeplaHQ, and ask in our Tech Talk channel. That's what I recommend. Because you're gonna get answers lost in the sauce in here. Yes. How are you supposed to stream it then? That's the neat part. You don't. That's the neat part. Okay. So let's get into the news today. Just a moment. Let me pull up my links. Okay. So this was something that I thought was... This is a piece of news that I thought was pretty insane, but also not surprising exactly. It is the news that Fru has been cleared without healers. Yeah, this has happened. There's a link here to Bilibili, where that shows their comp and shows what they were able to accomplish here, which is pretty amazing. Yeah. Fru is the latest ultimate raid fight. So for context, in Final Fantasy XIV's high-end content, it is like the pinnacle of the hardest, most bleeding edge content that you could possibly do. It is nightmare difficulty content that's really only designed for a tiny fraction of players to even attempt. So it's beyond savage, it's beyond anything else that the game offers. It's meant to really test your skill in the ultimate way. And so this has been making the rounds of news that they have managed to clear it without healers when it's actually not been out for that long. All things considered, they used 4 paladins, it looks like. Yes. And 4 DPS, including, it looks like Reaper, Dancer. Is that Bard? I can't really see it. No, it's Red Mage, I think. I cannot see it. It's so freaking blurry. And Picto, obviously. Unique. Not even 2 months yet. So, if you look in the comments here, there's been a whole discussion taking place about it. And, and generally what I've seen from the comments is the discussion and the controversy over whether this is like representative or indicative of a problem. Like, is this an anomaly that's only possible because these people are really, 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 really good at the game, which they certainly are? Is this an edge case? Is this something that you should be like, oh crap, what's going on with healers in Final Fantasy? Well, to that point, I would say that this is actually not at all the first time that this has happened, and that's the reason why I said that I wasn't surprised when I first introduced this news. Here is another article from a year ago when it came out that Top, the most difficult ultimate raid, according to everyone, was also cleared without healers. Actually, this was 2 years ago. Without healers. So Top, the hardest content in the entire game, even now, was managed to be cleared without healers too. So it looks like it's not a one-time incident that this is happening with multiple ultimate fights and the hardest ones. And I'm sorry, I'm coughing a lot. I think I've got like an issue going on. There's also other content that I see people posting their healer list clears of, so this isn't just limited to ultimate content, of course. I saw this posted, the M1S all tank week 2 clear. Week 2 all tank. Now this could also tell you something about the state of tanks in the game. This is actually a really interesting thread because somebody from the group that did this posted in the comment thread. So oh, here it is. Poison Vision commented a very interesting thing. They said, "Hi, I'm Poi from this group, and I just want to give my 2 cents. I've been organizing these pickup groups for all tank content for a little over a year now, and I think a few things go under the radar looking in. Everyone in the group cleared the tier completely, and we have a few world prog racers as well. There's certainly some nuance to healing without having readily available heals and mistakes. Valen's DDs or other punishments often lead to wipes. All the players here are playing at an extremely high level, and more than likely, most people will not be taking this approach. Damage check on the fight is very low. Thirdly, I personally don't feel the problem here is a healer problem. Doing PF and watching friends has made it apparent that good healers will aid in progression and clears much more than we give them credit for, and I think this is definitely worth mentioning. Past week 4 to 5, that's another story, but for now, groups benefit greatly from the healer role. The bigger issue here, again, my own opinion, is how loaded tank kits are and the amount of active and passive mitigation they have. Passive tank traits and sky-high HP pools are the real culprits here. Tanks are soloing partner stacks without even blinking. See M2, M3, and even M4. I don't know how they can fix it, but it's definitely a problem for the balancing of outgoing damage from the fights. I love healers and appreciate them all. Healers carry a lot of the burden of week 1-2 clears and poor play from pugs or statics. And we did this early because the numbers said we were close, and hopefully to prove a point and send a message that there are problems, which I thought was very interesting. And a balanced take as well. And I do feel like, you know, anybody that has done early prog knows how valuable and essential a healer is while you're trying to learn and you're making mistakes and you're playing bad. But then after you improve, you'll find that you don't need the healer so much anymore. So is this a problem with the encounter design, or is this like, do you think I should use dark mode? Is this distracting me? Okay. Actually, I think I can turn that on for you. It's an issue. I don't want to blind y'all. Okay, there you go. Sorry. I'm blind already from staring at it for so much. Yeah. You're welcome. But anyway, what was I saying? Healers are definitely needed when you're making lots of mistakes. Yeah, I think that's what I was trying to say. But, so healers are not always useless, but their usefulness can kind of fade over time, which can be a sad situation. Another thing I liked from this comment was the mentioning of like a big part of this, what we're seeing is tank design. We can't really talk about this in a vacuum because the tank sustain and mit is just completely overloaded at the moment. And I also thought it was interesting that Poi said that they posted this, they did this to prove a point, to send a message that if a full tank group can clear a savage boss week 2, then you might want to look at it and ask yourselves, why can healing be optimized out? And I don't know, it's kind of depressing that you need healers to become good enough to not need healers anymore. It's like you guide others to a treasure you cannot possess. You know what I'm saying? Anyway, moving on. So that's not the, I know that also, pull up this link here. Apart from M1S being cleared week 2 with no healers, M4S was also cleared week 2 with no healers, so you might notice a pattern here. I'm bringing up all these examples because I know people love to say this is just a one-off. This never happens, it's very rare, it's an edge case, but I'm showing you why it isn't right now. M4S also cleared week 2 with no healers as opposed from 6 months ago. And then if you look here at their clear, here it is. They posted logs, and if you look at the logs, you'll find that they had only 8 clemency casts the whole fight. So most of the healing was done by other tools. Shake, Veil, Nascent, Holy Sheltron was doing most of the healing here. And so that means that you can't just point the finger at clemency and say, oh, it's just clemency, get rid of clemency. Because in general, there's a general thing with tank healing being kind of through the roof right now. And sustain. You said When a healer casting GCD heals can output 120k HP per second per healer, and the raid itself requires an average of 65 to 70k HP per second over the entire fight, it's either a problem with the encounter design or healer kits. Either more heals need to be shifted towards damage spells, or fights need to do more damage to utilize healing kits. That's an extremely base take, and I agree with that very, very much. Just for fun, I'll also add that I know this, you know, you can take this with a grain of salt or not, but X1 Valagarmonda, you can actually watch a guide for how to do it. Junepop posted a guide at the time for how to do it without healers. This is from 6 months ago. So you could... I thought this was kind of funny. And I had also seen that X2 Everkeep Extreme also does not require healers. Some people went and they cleared that healerless also. So as you can see, this is kind of a pattern you might notice here. But let's go back. The main post about Fru being cleared without healers. Oh, and there's also actually that's not it. There's also dungeons, but I think everyone knows that already. Dungeons can also easily be done without healers. In case you forgot, Mediator shitstorm from the first Dawntrail dungeon. Remember that? Getting cleared by Zeem's group before Dawntrail even came out, which reignited the healer strike. So, healer strike is another thing that you need to remember has happened. And is still ongoing in some ways for some people, yeah. I don't know. Healers are the jobs you put your no-skill friends on to play with you. I don't know if I agree with that. Because... with the healer strike, right? This happened. And plenty of people might laugh at the strike and just call it a meme. And for a lot of people, it was a meme. But the reality is that the reason it gained traction was because a lot of people were actually really fed up with the state of affairs. And I feel like because of this context with the other incidents and this pattern of many fights, dungeons, extreme trials, savage, ultimates, all being able to be done without healers, I think that it's just... I don't think it's fair to say that it's just a high-end issue and that it's only the most bleeding edge groups that can optimize out healers because they're just like a fucking well-oiled machine. I feel like that kind of misrepresents the issue and ignores the context that we've had about this. I mean, we had, when you look back to T, I think T was cleared with 1 healer. I don't believe that it's been done healerless, but please correct me if I'm wrong on that. I think DSR also was cleared with just 1 healer, but not healer-less. But that was the Shadowbringers era. Then we come into the Endwalker era. We've got Top cleared, Fru cleared, Extreme Trials, M1S and M4S both done week 2 without healers. So I feel like even immediately after it happened with Top, it had already proved that the healers could be completely removed from even the most difficult content in the game. And when you look at the healer strike and what people were complaining about, most of the issues that they've been screaming about just continue to exist or have gotten worse. There's just not enough healing required in these encounters. So, I mean, it's kind of this interplay between how healers are designed, how the encounters are designed, and then tank design. These are 3 big parts of the situation that has happened. with tanks having so much self-sustain in mid, like, and even DPS have a buttload of that now too. So it just doesn't require a lot of healing uptime, even though you have all these heal buttons. Like if you play a healer, you'll notice you have a ton of really strong buttons that you could use, and you have a pretty boring ass basic DPS kit. And that makes you look at it, and if you just look at that, you might think, wow, it looks like my job is built for me to be healing my buns off non-stop. But then you end up just spamming one DPS button instead. And yeah, obviously you're gonna have more to do during progression when things are unpredictable. And some people will say, oh, the only time that healing feels too simple is during re-clears, when everybody knows the mechanics. But frankly, like, I think any job that I've played feels too simple once we're on this stage of re-clears, and it just becomes like mechanical repetition. But that's kind of I feel like that's a discussion for another day, probably. But because at least with Dancer, when I get to that stage, I still have several buttons to press, including procs. Like, I guess what I'm trying to say is, it feels weird to just write off that problem as saying, healer's only boring when things going well. Like, why can't a healer have engaging gameplay during re-clears too? Like, what? Why not push for that? Because I remember Stormblood Astrologian, I fucking loved it. I remember what I loved was the active decision making that I was doing at all times. Like fishing for balance, fishing for different kinds of cards depending on who's in my party, the randomness of the effects, knowing when to do Royal Road. Like Scholar had different dots. You had stuff like Shadow Flare, you had Bane, you had these like AoE dot tools. Healers just had more interesting and varied things to do that didn't depend on shit hitting the fan in group to be required. And but I feel like that's kind of, honestly, I feel like this discussion might be a little off track, because what we were going to talk about is like, why are the hard fights not requiring healers? Well, is that more about tanks and the encounter design than just this healing situation? Let's look at the comments here. Hold on a second. Let's just look at the comments. Let's get back on track. 4 paladins. No green healers, but half the party was no green healer, yeah. That's true. Mm-hmm. There's a good video about this after Nerebar Palace 4 out of 8 Mythic got cleared with no healers. It addresses healer design issues in MMOs in general. So about Nerebar Palace situation. It's true that Nerebar Palace had 4 out of the 8 Mythic bosses cleared without healers recently. However, we are near the end of the patch. And right here near the end of the patch, Blizzard released a super overpowered ring item that has gems you can put into it that will allow you to do a shit ton of healing. And they've used this ring with these healing gems to give themselves enough healing to do those first 4 bosses of Mythic without healers. But this is an intentionally overpowered item that was put into the game at the end of the Savage tier, the raid tier, on purpose to help players catch up and clear the raid before the next one. So I don't know if it's also for the first 4 bosses of Nerebar are much easier than the last 4 bosses. They haven't cleared the last 4 bosses, so I don't know if it's a direct comparison that I would make. Because this is, yeah. They had 4 paladins. Can you really say no healer? True. It's so lame that people get mad about this. Non-standard clears are cool. Complaining about them is the efficacy equivalent of saying Zelda Ocarina of Time is a badly designed game, because speedrunners with a zillion hours of practice can glitch to the end credits in minutes. I don't think I agree with that. I feel like that misses the point, kind of. Because the problem isn't the fact that they cleared. I agree. It's really cool. And it's awesome to watch. And that's cool that they did it. But the problem is that this is an ongoing pattern. It's not a random glitch. It's not... Like, glitching to the credits is an unintended exploit. But this is not an exploit. This is just people playing the game in a creative way and exposing some possible balance issues. We have a game that's it's not comparable, because this is a game built on the holy trinity of tank, healer, DPS. That's the core design, right? Or is it? I don't know. Non-standard clears are fun to watch. They aren't great when they reveal gaping holes in the encounter and job design. I can easily go, this is cool and these guys are really talented. Healers are still a fucking mess. This is another example showing it. Okay. Kerrigan adds... I think in this case I'd say they're just a tiny, not actually significant... this. A symptom of this. It feels like a big thing. Oh my god, you can clear an ultimate with no healers. But the underlying balance issues show in far bigger and more wide-reaching ways, and importantly, few of them directly relate to healers who are in a vacuum, actually all four pretty well designed. Okay, so you're saying that there are underlying balance issues, and few of them directly relate to healers. But, because the healers are well designed in a vacuum. But this really doesn't make any sense to me, because who's healing in a vacuum? Like, no job exists in a vacuum. Especially not healers. They exist in the context of the fights that they're played in. Or I guess not played in. Wow. Like, okay, if healers are well designed in a vacuum, but they aren't needed for the actual fight, then they're not well designed in practice, right? Like, saying that there's balance issues, but that they don't directly relate to healers doesn't make sense when the healers are the ones being excluded from the content. You're basically saying, like, they're fine in theory, but in practice, the game don't need them. But, how can a job design be good without being relevant to the content that it is meant to play in? Like, this actually doesn't make any sense to me at all. Okay, anyway, that is to say, a good job implementation and design would still easily allow for stunts like this. That's not where you see or fail to see issues in job design. In fights such as these. I mean... yeah, I agree with that. I think good design should probably allow for challenge runs to happen. Like, it should allow for a stunt like that without being game breaking, but like, if this isn't evidence of balance issues, then what is? Like, if healerless ultimate runs that keep happening aren't proof that healing is undervalued, then what would you consider to be clear evidence of that? Like, especially if you only consider healers in a vacuum. Like, this doesn't make any sense to me. Okay. It's not gaping holes when it's hard to replicate. Something like this requires more planning and coordination. It's a gaping hole if it's non-standard and is optimal. It requires little to no effort. There's a difference between you can clear through without healers and you can clear through without healers, and this community never seems to grasp that. The people who get up in arms aren't the ones in the skill bracket that matters. Yeah, this is pretty common take that I see pretty often. So you're saying that because these clears require extreme skill and coordination, that they won't affect most people. So they're not an issue because healerless clears cannot be done by average players. I mean, it's true that a sweat group breaking the game doesn't necessarily mean that the game is broken for the non-sweats, and that this isn't realistic for 99% of players to try. That's true, but like, my question to you is, do balance issues need to be widespread in the PF to be real? When do they become real, in your view? Like, we've already covered, healerless runs are happening in all kinds of content across the board. It isn't just Ultimate. But the thing is, when I say healerless runs are happening in dungeons, these people tell me, oh, but dungeon content, it's easy, it doesn't matter. And then I say, oh, but what about the savage examples, week 2 savage clears, or what about all these extreme examples? They'll say, oh, well, it doesn't matter because it's casual content and it's flexible. And so I say, well, okay, well then what about the ultimate healerless clears? And they say, oh, well, that doesn't matter either because only the top 1% can do that. You keep moving the goalposts so that you never have to actually acknowledge that there could be a problem. Right? Like, it's always an excuse as to why problems don't exist. And we should just look the other way, nothing to see here. Don't worry about it. But it's a trend. Okay, anyway. Super Snow says, gaping hole isn't that this is possible. Gaping hole is that makers are designed as if they're spending you mean healers? Spending every second desperately trying to keep the party alive. That's true. Millions of overpowered heals. Bare bones DPS kit and massive healing support from the other classes. But then, this is possible. That's a really good point. That's a good point. One sec. Yeah. I feel like I'm getting a sore throat. This is bad. Okay, Autumn says, I guess I don't think the issues in healing design stem from the kits at all. I feel like big healing kits are important to let us be flexible, which is the main thing healers bring to the party as a role. It's not a surprise to me that super optimized groups like this don't have much need for flexibility. If anything in the design makes non-standard clears easier, I think it's tank healing, specifically being overtuned since Endwalker, combined with the designer's preference for mit checks over heal checks and their apparent reluctance to challenge healers. Okay. One sec. I mean, I agree that tank healing and mid is a huge part of the problem. They're way too self-sufficient. Like, I agree with this. And, obviously, super optimized groups are always going to min-max everything. And these kinds of crazy clears that shouldn't be possible are always going to happen in MMOs. And, casual groups, mid-core groups often still need healers, even if the world first raiders don't always. But the thing is that, the healerless clears are now happening across the board, you know. Oh, 1 sec. They're happening all across the board. Look, man, I PF every tier as soon as it drops and clear within the week, if not the next. Sure, the top, like, maybe 1% can do healerless runs after they get gear and know the fight inside out. Challenge anybody to go and heal content on drop and say it's not challenging when they're under geared. Yeah, that's not a point that I'm disputing. Definitely, that is when your job shines. It's when everything is hitting the fan and nobody knows what's going on. I think I did acknowledge that already. One sec. Yes. It is an interesting discussion. It's an interesting discussion to see the state of things. My real question is more about dungeon no heal runs. Is it still a thing with Dawntrail? Last time I checked, yes. It definitely was. It definitely was. I'm just scanning through a few comments right now, trying to gather my thoughts on it. Instead of a good job, you cleared the fight in a very optimized way, we get, oh no, healers are bad, strike. Can you acknowledge that the fight being cleared without healers is both a cool thing and a potential reveals something? Potentially these things that keep happening, you think they reveal something about the way that healer design, encounter design, and tank design interplay? That's what we're discussing. Is there something of value to be gleaned from this pattern, since it's not a one-off? And that it isn't, as far as I'm aware, not possible with every single ultimate. Where like, that require at least one healer. You have not yet been able to completely optimize them out. As a healer, my problem is, during any non-high-end game content, my being there just lets us be sloppy and finish the dungeon, whatever. If we weren't sloppy, it'd be better for the group for me to not be a healer. I mean, yeah, that makes sense. That does make sense to me. I feel like if you have all these buttons that are like super strong heals, that you're mostly going to be using in the worst case scenarios, I feel like this can create a depressing situation where when things go wrong, healing is intense and it's very engaging. And then when things go right, you can just press one button and space out and you're bored. Like, I feel like there's gotta be a way to just make it more engaging more often for the healer, like it was with back in the day playing Astrologian, which I loved. I loved every second of it, whether things were going well or whether things were going poorly. I think that Square Enix, they need to just look at making it more, the healing and the DPS a little more fun at all times. Fun. Yeah. Maybe reduce the tank sustain and shit. Like, let the healers do their job. Make this shit require more healing. Like, let the group get slapped around so hard that you need an active god to save you from it. Like, even in the dungeon. You know what? Put Wrath Flame in every dungeon. Just put Wrath Flames in the fucking dungeons. Just go ahead and do it. Think you're fine. 2 packs in a mob, 2 packs in a Wrath Flames. Something, maybe, I don't know, throw some shit in there like Asuna being required. Some debuffs, you gotta cleanse out. something that might require some more active participation from you, the healer. Like, aren't there cases where it's not possible to totally remove the healer because there's healer-specific mechanics that have to be handled? It could be a thing to look at. So car. Yeah. So what do you think? I keep saying the problem is they don't have anyone on the dev team that knows what a healer meta is supposed to look like. The Holy Trinity is broken. Take some of the sustain out of the DPS and tank jobs and give White Mage their god complexes back. I agree with this. I do agree with that. That is fair. If an Asuna is required, it doesn't wipe the group, you could just let them die and res with the... That's true! Res with the summoner red mage. That is true. So you're already thinking.
Right, Alexander says they need to make an ultimate where you have to overheal the party or it's an instant wipe due to a doom counter or something.
Oh, you could have like a Valithra Dreamwalker fight, like in Wrath, where you just, the job is you have to fucking heal the boss. So basically, healers have to fight for their lives, healing the boss to full. That's how you win. And what everybody else is doing is fighting off ads the whole time and like doing random mechanics. Okay, we're cooking. Yeah, we're cooking. They use healers in WoW, by the way. Uh-oh, don't say that. Don't say that. Don't bring that up. More boss abilities that take the party into lethal HP. Yes. I want to get hit hard. Really hard. I think it's also a problem that you can plan your heals pretty much the first time you run a dungeon and know that it will be the same every single following time you run the dungeon forever. But that's more dungeon design. I think that's actually a very good point, Neja, and I think it speaks to both dungeon design and counter design and job design in FF14. Job design in the game is very much like mechanical is a word that I would use to describe it. You're given very specific puzzle pieces that fit into the machine in a specific way. And over time, you get better at putting the Lego into the block perfectly every time. And the better you are at it, the more perfectly you will do this repetitive task. Yes, it's almost like an assembly line. Does that make any sense? Does that make any sense at all? I feel like it's not a good analogy. It's like, here's the tools you have. We're giving you the tools you need to perform this mechanical function. And your job is to become highly efficient at repeating this exact task. It's like kind of robotic in a best case scenario. Like that's what you're reaching for. That's what you want. They're making healers very similar to each other too, to make them easier to balance. I mean, yeah, earlier I think I mentioned removal of some things like there used to be a lot more crazy things you could do, like cleric stands. We had a lot more dots. We had different kinds of dots you could choose between putting down your sacred soil or your shadow flare, I think it was called. So I feel like there could be more you do. I feel like there could be some more stuff you could do. That's all. Just be a little bit more variety between pulls. and in reclear especially. I don't think they can fix the Trinity because they are actively trying to make everything more accessible and easy for people to get into. And it's been causing problems left and right. I think you're right, because that's the reason that they massacred my boy. I will never stop complaining about a Stormblood Astrologian. Like, I'm never gonna let it go. I'll never let it go. I loved it. It was so crazy and wacky with a million different wild tools to play around with. And people at the time, in Heavensward, people would always say, Astrologian, it's really hard for a new player. Watch out for Astrologian if you're new. Don't play Astrologian, it's very advanced. People are constantly saying this shit. Trying to scare people off. And I wonder if Square heard this constant, and they had a problem with it. I always wondered, did they hear this and think, oh, that's not okay. Players think astrology is too hard. Players telling other players astrology is too hard. I wonder if this is what happened. Like, the game doesn't have to be perfectly balanced. It was crazy. Like, it was a little overpowered. It was a little bit overpowered. Just take us, you know what? Just take us back to Stormblood. Just whole job design. Just bring it back. The whole fucking thing. Okay, then we'll fix it slowly. If there's a problem, we'll slowly adjust. Just go back, man. That's all I could say. It's good. Stormblood Scholar, so many debuffs, AoE. Right! That's what I'm saying. That's exactly what I'm saying. So you're not falling asleep during, when things are going well. You have things a lot of variety of things to do. I mean, they had actively dumbed down dungeons that had legitimate fun and unique mechanics to bosses just because it has to be easy for new people. I feel like they don't give new people enough credit, though. Really. I feel like they're not giving the new players enough credit at all. Like, new players can handle a lot more than they're assuming. Like, if you look at the game right now, they think that a new player can't handle at level 1 having, like, an AoE button, an OGCD, and a 3-button rotation. Like, I think you should be able to do that at level 1. Shouldn't have to wait long. That basic stuff. It's not going to be overwhelming. It's okay. It's okay. I missed 2.0 healing. I enjoyed having to heal the entire time. Once healing became a side job and DPS was your primary role, stop playing healer. Yeah, I stopped playing healer after Stormblood, and I just never went back. And that's... I've tried it. I mean, I've leveled healers, but... I mean, I've always thought Scholar was way more complicated than any other healer, and still is. Gotta have a PhD and plan out 2 mechs in advance to be a good Scholar. I mean, I think there should be, and it's okay, for there to be some jobs that are easier and some jobs that are more involved. They don't all need to be super easy when you can unlock every single job on one character. It's not even like you need to make an alt. Let's play a different job. You know, there's no reason to do this. I started playing an Endwalker, and the only overwhelming thing about the combat system for me was fitting buttons that felt redundant in their design on my cars. I leveled all the jobs in Shadowbringers, and in Walker and Healer for me is by far the most boring. They just have 2 DPS buttons. Well, some people like to say that if they were to add more DPS buttons, that it would be overwhelming. I've heard this pretty often. One sec. One sec. Zepla, for the argument of some jobs easier than others, do you think that the harder the job, the higher the reward should be? Meaning, should they be able to have more throughput or more hero moments? Honestly, I would like to have the PvP personal LB available to me at all the PvE content. That would be my hero moment. I would like that. Do it. Just give it to me on top of the party LB. Let's do both. Let's have both. Give me a personal LB that I can press. So I can like be on White Mage and do that. Blast. Kamehama. Blast. But yes, I to answer your question. To answer your question. Yeah, I definitely think that harder jobs should have like should maybe perform better. That was kind of the feeling behind Black Mage for a long time, right? Like that the understanding that we had was that Black Mage is very difficult to optimize. But because of that, a Black Mage played well should always tower among over the other casters. That was kind of the thing that most people seem to agree felt fair. That seemed to feel fair, but it seems like lately that's kind of gone out the window. Obviously, I think that your investment as a player should be rewarded. Or like if the job has a high skill ceiling, then you should feel like it's worth it to try to master that job. Otherwise, what's the point? What's the point of it being really high difficulty if you don't, like, you need to be incentivized to put in that work and effort. That's kind of silly considering that you can play all jobs on your character. People would only ever play those jobs leaving the what? Not big brain jobs not played? I don't know if that's true, because that implies that every person who attempts to be extremely optimized Black Mage player is able to do it. It's just the fact that there's the high skill ceiling to it means that most people might not be able to do that. So you're leaving behind all the players that are casual or can't play those jobs. People with disabilities or just not wanting to learn big brain jobs just don't get that. No. No, I definitely don't want to have people with disabilities or people who are not like super optimized min-maxers to be left behind. Obviously, I don't want that. No. No, I don't want that. I'm just talking of the way that the game was for a while, and it seemed to be okay. For Black Mage to be like highest possible theoretical damage output because it was so difficult to strategize. Like, does that... And we're talking about a difference of like a tiny amount. So I wouldn't want there to be an imbalance of that would affect most people. It's just for the people that have the min-max brain. I still think the mindset of harder job must deal more damage is weird. Imagine being punished because the devs decided the class fantasy you enjoy must have fewer buttons. But, I mean, is it actually possible for every single job to do the exact same amount of damage if they're not completely homogenized? Like, what I'm saying is, if you want variety in the jobs, doesn't it imply that there will inevitably be a level of imbalance that you pay, that's like price you pay for there being variety in the jobs and not them all being perfectly balanced and homogenized? Like, I don't know if it's possible to have varied jobs that are doing the exact same amount of damage. So if that is the trade-off that's required, and if there are, by necessity, in an ecosystem with varied jobs, ones that have to do more damage than others, then shouldn't it be the ones that are most high skill ceiling? But that should be about the content, not the job setup. And in that case, then you might be wanting something like talent trees. Anyone should be able to play Black Mage and hit that aha moment, not just someone who is out to min-max. I feel like having rewarding and impactful moments can happen often for everyone and should. Like, that should absolutely be a goal. But I don't see that, like, as the same as being the person reaching 100% parse. Like, I feel like that is something that most people probably don't strive for or want. Like, most people want to have those aha moments all the time, frequently, and feel like they're kicking ass and they're blasting, and that's really what we should be designing for, in my mind. Like, something that's easy to learn, hard to master, but is effective and fun. Like, meta only really applies to pushing content. Most of the time, any combination can do all content. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. I don't think that people should suffer because they try hard or they hit all their buttons. But, like, it's kind of elitist to, like, just leave people behind or have them feeling like they shouldn't play a job. Well, that is definitely not what I would advocate for, and I definitely don't mean to advocate for a situation like that. I think that what we might be, like, stumbling upon here is actually an issue not necessarily with min-maxing and meta, but with player perceptions. I think player perceptions is something that can really spiral out of control to the detriment of the game for everyone, because the problem is that a lot of times, even if it's a tiny percentage difference between jobs, people will take that and fucking run with it, and they'll be like, oh, well, this job's in the gutter and this job is king, right? And because of this, it leads to a player perception that does result in what you're describing, Tack, where certain jobs are just left behind unfairly and really shouldn't be. And that's kind of that's a whole other dimension to the problem of job balance that we face in an MMO that has, you know, people discussing it and people wanting to make tier lists and people wanting to say this is best, here's the winners, here's the losers. And so that is definitely a problem that I really tried to not contribute to. 1% less DPS is totally unnoticeable till someone sees it on a meter. Then it's the end of the world. I think maybe that's the reason why Yoshi P did not want to put damage meters into the game. Maybe he was worried about proliferation of some of those negative attitudes. Yeah. Like, of course you should be rewarded for being hitting 100 parses, but since that's not even something Yoshi P wants people to have in the game, so the game would have to change at a fundamental level. Personally, as a person that used to be obsessed with parsing, and no longer am, even when I was obsessed with parsing, I was not trying to get 100 parse. Well, I mean, I was, but I was trying to get like 90 plus. That was fun for me. But at a certain point, I stopped caring about that. And I started caring more about feeling like I'm having fun in the content and feeling like I'm contributing the most I can in a holistic way to our success as a group. And I really don't know if there's a lot that they can do about people that get hung up on trying to get that 100 parse. I feel like that will always be a thing. Yeah. I will say that at a time when I decided to really invest my energy and effort into Final Fantasy XIV and I really wanted to become better at the game, I used the parses as a way to measure myself and see if I was improving or not, and it actually helped me very much. Like, because of ACT and because I could check how I did and I could compare from one run to another run, I was able to actually make progress and become a better player, and I just don't know if that would have been possible without it. So I'm not completely against it as a tool, but I do see, like anything, when taken to an extreme, can have negative effects for everyone. Since we're talking about jobs being too similar and not balanced, do you remember what the game was like back then, before the 2-minute meta? Yeah. Yeah. But at the time, I think I was not very good. Like, I wasn't optimizing. I didn't know how to optimize at the time. I was doing my best, but I remember that things were kind of all over the place. That was Heaven's Word. When I first started raiding, is when I started. It was a little chaotic, but I love chaos. I agree. Bring back Cleric Stance. Bring back a lot of these fun little tools to play around with. That's what I think. Because for me, like, if we're talking about big moments, aha moments, and I think back to my time with Astrologian and Stormblood, man, pulling a balance card and doing Royal Road where you spread that across the whole party, God, it was such a good feeling. It was like crack. It was such a good feeling. Loved that. And I still get those moments with Dancer, you know, if I have a crit on tech step, that feels amazing. And yeah, I think it's very possible to have a job where you can clear most content with it. But that is difficult at the highest level and gets rewarded for it. If you watch a casual ninja player versus a ninja main, it will appear like a different class. Really? I have never really gotten into ninja, so I don't know about that. I don't think anyone wants Cleric Stance for real. I always hear that I use ACT to get better. In reality, it's used to gatekeep. I've been in a group and been offered a spot on an ultimate team, and in the very same breath, when somebody joined the group, they looked up the person who joined and said, "Ah, nah, get them out. We ain't clearing with them." That is the problem with it. I totally agree. But like any tool, it can be used for good or for ill. You know, that's player behavior, player perceptions, which can often be misguided, and that's something that they just don't have a lot of control over. But so like ACT, it is a tool. It can be used for good, it can be used for improvement, but it can also be used to shut people out and to gatekeep. I think both are true at the same time. I was first introduced to ACT back in Heaven's Word whenever I was just starting as a raider. I was Dark Knight, and someone in my group told me that my damage was bad and that I was not doing a good job. And of course I wasn't, because that was my first character. I just started playing. And I'm like, well, can you explain to me how I can improve? I want to improve. I want to get better. I don't want to be bad. I want to kick ass. And he showed me our logs, and he showed me how to read the logs, and he showed me how to check my dot uptime, and he showed me how to look at the timeline and see when my dots fell off, and that was really, really helpful, because then I could figure out when the dot fell off. And then I stopped doing that, and then I started having better dot uptime, and then I started feeling good about that. I started to see the number go up. Like, that was awesome for me. I feel like that was a positive experience that I had that helped me feel like I was growing and learning in a helpful and a supportive environment as a player. But I was extremely fortunate. You know, it could have very easily gone a different way. Could have very easily been a butthole in my group who could have said, hey, I seen your damage on ACT and you're shitter, so we're gonna reform the group without you. Yeah, you know, it could have easily, it just depends on who you are, right? Are you going to use this as a tool, or are you going to use it to gatekeep? That's a choice players make, and that's a choice you just, you can't control if other people are buttholes or not. More news at 11. I don't know. Do you think this is a good time to get into FF14 for the first time? I always do. I mean, I think it's definitely worth going through the entire story at least once in your life. You should. I mean, most of it, you're gonna be... You can just start with the free trial, and you don't even have to buy anything for hundreds of hours. And then you will know if you want to buy it or not. Do the free trial. Dark Knight? Haven't seen Zepla on Dark Knight in a while. Dark Knight is totally unrecognizable compared to how it was whenever I first picked it up. It is not the same job at all. We had mana. I had mana management to do. I had dark arts suppressed like every other GC. I had to ask the machinist to recharge my mana so that I could literally tank the next boss. Yeah, it's not the same game in a lot of ways. I think people jump classes a lot as well and expect to press buttons and do numbers. But they don't look up proper rotations or read what does what. That's a big part of the problem. That, and there's no real challenge leveling since things, again, got dumbed down. I think it would be really cool to have something like Hall of the Novice, but for Hall of the Monk or Bard or Dark Knight. Like one for every class, every job, where you could go and practice and practice your rotation and see how you're doing. Maybe get some pointers from an NPC or something that's like, hey, we've analyzed your combat data and you didn't have your dot up half the time. Did you know? Like, I don't know. I don't know. Something that would help, because for me, having ADHD and looking at the action spell book, I get really overwhelmed looking at all of that. And maybe I mean, there's something wrong with me, but I can't just read all the tooltips and put that shit together in a way that would be correct for the rotation. Because FF14 is a game where you have a lot of the times a fairly strict rotation that you need to follow. And I don't trust myself to put that shit together without checking it at an outside source. So the way that I typically learn a new job is I'll pull up the opener from a Discord that I found, and I pull up the rotation, and I just memorize what other people figured out. That's what I do. And I feel like maybe there would be a way to teach some of these things in game. Because like, one of the things for me that was surprising when I first started trying to learn how to properly play is weaving. I didn't understand what weaving was at all. I didn't know. I'm like, wait, okay, so you press a button Then you press 2 OG CD buttons and then you press other buttons. That was so crazy for me. That's something that I feel like the game could do a better job of explaining. Let's, good morning, Miko, Taru. Happy Valentine's Day. Hello. In all honesty, I think there should be an advanced hall that's per job, not just people on Discord in the balance. Where you could ask, hey, are there high-end people here who could help with the rotation? What I'm doing wrong? Oh, that's such a fun idea. Oh, that's a cute idea. If you've cleared all that job, you can be a job mentor. Oh, I love this. Yes, job mentor. That's a great idea. Okay, so hall of the job advanced, and maybe like you fight a dummy and it broadcasts the buttons you press to everybody that's in that area, and you're only allowed to be in that area if you're like mentor for that job, so you have some kind of achievements for the job, and those people can watch your buttons you're pressing and give you feedback on that. That would be great. That's a really good idea. I like that. Yes. Hall of the Mentor. That's cool. Like a fighting game button recorder. Yes, exactly. Yes, exactly. Exactly like that. Where you're training and practicing. That's a good idea. This way, it's like, maybe you'll even talk to people. Play the job that you play. Yeah, I think that would be really cool. Y'all are smart. Can you imagine? There's narcissistic Burger King employees fighting in chat over who's right on what the guy should press. That would be hilarious. That's true. It could be content. It'll break down a rotation in a window for mentors in an informative way. Mentors could input button recorder for people to follow in that area. You could choose what rotation. Yeah! Like that. Y'all are smart. Yeah. I want Burger King now. I feel like something that'd be really cool is if we had something like the Overwatch workshop where there's a bunch of pre-made mechanics. So like an arena where players could make custom bosses. Yeah! That other players could access. That would be fun. That could also make some really interesting challenges, but also make certain challenges that help players. I think that is such a great idea. Man, chat is like popping off today. Chat is cooking so hard. Yes. Or something like Monster Hunter, where you could capture mobs to fight in an arena. Man, I hope the devs are in here. Yes, I love that. Mentor crowns being helpful. Yeah. That would be pretty cool. Yeah, a custom mob, like a custom boss creator. That could actually solve a whole lot of different problems all at the same time. You would have some like replayable content that you could have scaling difficulty for. You could get people to help learn the jobs. You could have a more interesting setting for learning besides a training dummy like with Stone Sky Sea. Just give like a few pre-made like different mechanics to choose from. Like, oh, we'll put in a stack, we'll put in a help people train for the high-end stuff. I mean, people are simming fights anyway, so why not just let them do it in the game? Yeah, that would be really neat. You can maybe just put it in the gold saucer or some shit. Let me put a like a gladiator arena in my island sanctuary. New building unlocked. Gladiator Arena. Yeah. Zach Veer question was really fun. Challenge to play your class well and well. I need to do that. I only have a few days left to do it. I'm running out of time. I am running out of time. Was this about a mammoth fight club? That's the idea that we had. That's the idea my chat had today. Yeah, fight club, basically. I love the idea. You could design, like, just a brutal survival mode. Or, like, an escape room. But I know, I don't know, Square, they really don't like to give you that that level of control over the game mechanics. But I think it would be incredible. This is a really cool idea. Almost like a deepest dungeon in Gold Saucer. Could do weekly leaderboard too on speed, time per job. Yeah! That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. Could be a game changer. Zep, accept my application only, buns. What region? If you put in an app, I'll be able to accept it as soon as I'm back in WoW today. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Or unless you mean about Final Fantasy only buns, because we have both. Yeah. Should I do the Valentine's event? Probably. Yeah, I haven't done it yet. Yes, we are in both games. That's true. EU and NA, but for Final Fantasy, I think we're just... I don't know if we have 2 guilds on EU. I think we have an NA guild for Final Fantasy. I'm just not, I play on EU mostly. I'm not really gonna be in NA, I think. Mm-hmm. Hope everyone has a good rest of the day. You too, Kevin Alex. Zepla, check React suggestion. Okay. Let me check. Okay. Oh, wow. What is this? What? What? This isn't real. This can't be real. No. Hot pot mount exclusive to Chinese server. Wow. Quite cool that the aetherite is heating the food. Chinese live letter 7.1. I don't want it. I certainly do not need it. It's so why can't we have that? Giant flying tacos seem like a no-brainer given Dawntrail. Big fat taco! Yeah, I feel like that has to happen. But would it be like... You'd have to be inside it. Right? Like... Obviously. Okay. Wow, that is actually super cool. Man, it reminds... I miss Hot Pot. Hot pot is what I need right now because I'm getting sick. I think I'm getting sick. Hot pot can cure any ailment. This is facts. All diseases fixed by hot pot. Yeah, well, this is for Chinese only, Chinese server only. Yeah, looks like we might not get it. I like hot pot too. Come on, man. It's really creative. I love it. Yeah, that's awesome. Wow, some people are really pissed about it. Fucking hate region exclusive content. I think it's fair considering they get literally everything else in the game months after us. I mean, it's... there's a ton of region exclusive content. Check back again in 2026. Okay, well I guess I will. This is the dumbest idea for a mount. I desperately want it. It's funny. Why does video game food look so good? Great question. Is it $20? Well, we don't know. It doesn't matter because we're not getting it. We can only dream. But I do think Big Fat Taco would have to happen. Just let it happen. Come on. It's a Dawntrail. If we're not going to get it now, it's not happening. I smell a $25 gift shop purchase that's going to be character specific. Yeah. Bubble tea mount. Yeah, I want more food mounts. I like that. It was the food. Are they caught up now? I'm not sure. Okay, well, do we want to do the Valentine's or not? There's also some Genshin reacts that I haven't done. I might wait to do those. Hopefully I won't forget. Yeah. It is Valentine's today. Today is Valentine's Day. All right. I guess I'll go do that. There was a Dawntrail stream today. Yes. So about that. About Dawntrail. So I wanted to make an announcement that I think everyone is going to completely understand and hopefully not be mad about. And that you probably already predicted it at this point. This is for our Dawntrail gamers in the chat. So after hearing about the state of affairs with Amphoreus and 3.0 in Dawntrail, and hearing, without being spoiled, that there are severe pacing issues, there is a serious lack of English VA, and that there's excessive puzzles, which I hate, I've made the decision to wait until 3.2 to do Amphoreus. I'm doing this because Hoyoverse has announced that they are going to make some huge sweeping changes to 3.0 in 3.2, where they're going to be removing a lot of the unnecessary puzzles. They're going to be making the whole experience better and smoother to play. And they're going to like fix pacing issues. They're going to go through 3.0 and make it a much, much better. And I personally, for me, if they hadn't made this announcement, I would just bite the bullet and deal with it. Okay. But because they did, and also because I hate doing puzzles on stream. If you've ever seen me try to do puzzles on stream, you can see me get very flustered and stressed out. This is actually the reason that I economia on accident. Uh, it's because I didn't want to do the puzzles on stream because it was really, really stressing me out. Like, I don't know why. Maybe it's like a combination of streamer brain and ADHD that makes it like I freeze up and I freak out. I don't know why. Okay, I don't know why. So I can do some of them, but if there's a lot and they're really challenging, I just I go crazy. I just struggle. I struggle. And so because of that, and also because of it's the puzzles, and hopefully by 3.2 more English voice acting would also be put back into the game. It's another thing that I struggle with as a streamer. Like, if I weren't streaming it, I would just switch to a different language and listen to it in Chinese. But I don't like just telling chat to read subtitles. I would need to voice it, which I'm bad at. Or, you know, maybe wait for hopefully more English VA to be put back. So that is the reason why I've decided to wait until 3.2 to do Amphorius. It's for my... I don't want to... I've heard it's very long as well. It's like 8 to 10 hours long. And I really don't want to put myself through something that I will hate and then have a bad taste in my mouth about the game. Okay, I really want to avoid that because I love Star Rail and I want to keep loving Star Rail. Okay. So I'm doing this to preserve my passion and love for the game by hopefully playing it at when it's at its best. And so that is the reason why I'm doing that. That is the announcement. I plan to pull for anyone before 3.2. Maybe. But I doubt I would start a stream just to pull. I don't know. I kind of can't pull like I used to. Can't really go wild on pulls. So I'm holding off on a lot of that as well. Yeah. Would be nice to watch you play it with the voice acting at it. Yeah, I hope so. So that's it. That situation. The situation. So this is... Brienne? Brienne? Oh my god! Oh my god, it's my friend! Brienne! Oh my god! Yay! It's my friend! Happy! That's great. See you, friend. Okay. Oh my god! Hey! My friend. Hi. Hi! Greetings, good madam. Okay, here we go. I'm on a break, but why are healers not okay? Did they go crazy again? We had a big discussion earlier about the healerless ultimate clear that happened with Fru, and the fact that healerless, it's not, top also was cleared healerless, and that 2 savage fights were also cleared healerless on week 2 of those fights, and that 2 extreme trials were also cleared healerless. So that was a discussion that we were having earlier. It's about the healerlessness. The being maidenless. Yeah. Greetings, madam. I'm Astrid, emissary of ardor and affection. My fellows and I have come to help folks convey the depths of their hearts to a special someone. If it isn't Zepla, yeah, that's me. We're providing people with roses to help them make their feelings known. But the botanist has his own love difficulties. Let's help him out. Got it. Okay. Oh, look who it is. Oh, look who it is. Do you see her? You see this? You see this? You see the baby? Can you see the baby? There she is. Nora. Can I help you? Go get it! Come here, girly. Come here, girly. Hey. Come on. Nora. Oh, you're so vicious. Oh, you're so strong, Nora. Okay, bring it back. Come on. Oh, no, you want pets already? Get it. Come on. No, she wants pets already. Oh, Nora's a good girl. Nora's a sweet baby. Yes. She's so cute. She is a Samoyed. Yes. Okay. Yeah, she does this just so she can get scratches. She doesn't really care about playing, fetch. She doesn't care about playing fetch. Yeah, she just wants pets and love. She's so sweet. Baby. Nora, baby. She's a good girl. She wants to do fetch quests. Oh, that's true. Well, we came to the right place. Silgini, my love. Where have you gotten to? Forgive me, I didn't notice you. Is there something you require? Miss Astrid sent you to assist me, you say? That's very kind. You see, there's something I desperately wish to find. Oh. A few years ago, an Ishgardian botanist arrived here in Gridania. Silgini was her name, and in part due to our shared fondness of roses, we struck up a friendship that blossomed into love. Ooh, they were going hard. Then one day, she disappeared without a word, leaving behind only the seeds of a rare variety of rose. Oh my god. Flowers given out this Valentine's Day are grown from those very seeds. It was my hope upon hope that the word of them would reach her, and then she might be compelled to return to me. As if in answer to my prayers, who should I spot in the crowd just now but her? She wore the rose earring I gifted her, and there's no mistaking it. But she vanished amidst the throng. Look for her. You can count on me. No problem. Okay, it's pretty interesting. Silgini is an Elysian maiden with silver hair. You want to keep an eye out for someone of that description. Because the earring I mentioned. Okay. Got it. No problem. Beep beep. Dash. Okay. I bet they're gonna make me pick, like, see if I was listening or not. Yeah, I bet. I was listening. Brown, just woman with the rose. She has silver hair. Kinda. It's gray. That he should go to such lengths to find me. I love him still, I truly do, but I'm too ashamed to meet him. What? I just wish to see the roses that lovers are giving one another. Please tell Larovic that he should look for me no more. That he should forget me. What's wrong with you? No! No, Kif! I need... No. Why not? This is wrong. See a kitty. See a kitty. Mm-hmm. .2 comes out at the end of March. Does the exploration zone Bajra like comes out too? Or is it gonna be later, like 726 or something? 725. So, end of March. Wait. 2 months after 7.2. So, oh my god. If that's the end of March for 7.2, it's end of May. Yeah, it's a while. Unless it's going to be on release? It's not the 0.5? Am I wrong? Is it going to be at the end of March? Usually it's on the 0.5 after patch. But I don't think that they made any specific announcements. I'm just going by how it normally is. Afraid to say I had no luck. Dear, I hope you were able to learn something. Forget her. She can't ask me to do such a thing. Well, she did. She did. Uh-oh. Pray excuse my interruption. I am Sir Tituan, a knight of House Halenart. Do I have the pleasure of addressing the botanist Larovic? Uh-oh, is this our man? Oh! The rose is being distributed during the current festivities. May I ask where you acquired them? Those, I grew them from the seeds given to me by my love, Silgini. Oh! So it is indeed the Durian coin. The rose permitted to be grown by none save our house. To think that she would give it to a foreign nation. Oh! You know Silgini? She tended House Halenart's rose gardens until a few years ago when she vanished without a trace. Our house takes the rose for its symbol, and the Drian coin is the foremost of all the species. Silgini had care of them on account of her skills, but when Carthus froze over in the calamity's wake, every last plant withered away. 'Twas believed that she fled out of shame. But not the seeds. When she had trusted me with the seeds, she made no mention of their importance. Sorry. Never did I imagine the rose would end up not only surviving in a foreign land, but thriving. So the reason you seek Silgini is to bring her to account? That she has violated our laws. She has saved the Drian coin from extinction. As such, I doubt she would face much of a punishment, if any. Nevertheless, my duty is to ascertain the truth of the matter. In that case, will you not allow me to search with you? Though Silgini bade me not to do so. I cannot bear to do nothing. Man, I wish this had been her man. That would be more interesting. That's what I expected. I thought that, like, he was, like, wanting to get with her. Okay. Maybe we can have her come to us instead by devising a rumor that would draw her attention. What? Why? Just go. She's right over there. Let's try it. Dude, I just walked over to go see her. There's no need to... You don't... I know where she is. I can just talk to her. As much as it chafes me to deceive her, I'll do what I must to see her again. Then the question is, what matter of rumor to employ? Have you any thoughts? What? Larvik is to Jewel and his guardian knight. Fight! Fight! We wouldn't actually fight, of course. I can't wield anything save botanist tools. You're a reaper. Done. On the assumption that Silgani is aware of your limits, I dare say she would come out of worry for your safety. We do need to go so far as to cross swords. Man! Come on! That may well work. As for location, I believe the Great Loam Growery would be as suitable a place as any. Then it is settled. Let's split up and recruit some citizens to our cause. Unless we cause undue commotion. Be sure to clarify, 'tis but a ruse. Okay. Cool, cool. Promised you. Oh, do you know that song? I never promised you a rose garden. My grandpa likes to sing that song whenever he does something that my grandma don't like. A botanist will duel an Ishgardian knight at the growery? Don't tell me they're fighting over you. Well, actually. No, not really, but that would be funny. Oh, it's just a ruse to find his sweetheart. Well then, consider us part of it. Okay. Okay, cool. Okay, back to main etherite. Not North Shroud. It's under there. From an interview with Yoshi P with a French content creator, either the exploratory zone or the cosmic exploration will be in the 7.2. The other after. But they haven't chosen which one they will release first. Oh. I see. Okay. Will help. Wait a minute. Am I doing a speak with 3 citizens quest? Yes. I am. I'm actually doing that. Yep. Yep. There's still one more citizen. That's what we're doing. Oh yeah, that's what we're doing. Loravik wishes to be reunited with his love, you say? It'd be too tragic if they couldn't be together. You may count on us to spread this rumor far and wide. Okay, so basically they all said the exact same thing, which is pretty standard. Okay, let's go back to the botanist guild. Let's go with botanist guild. They all said exactly the same thing. Good thing I talked to all 3. Never change. It won't. Don't worry. Oh. I haven't been machinationed yet, though. I'm truly grateful for your help, Zepla, but I'm getting to worry that Silgini won't come. She must, or else I would have suffered through all of your lovesick rambling for naught. But you were cool with it before, right? I guess this guy's really grating on him. What? But I was merely expressing the wonders of true love. One day, someone doesn't exist in your life. The next, you can't imagine life without them. Ugh, enough of that. Enough. Right? Like, stop. Sir Tituan, please wait. Loravik stands no chance against you. Do not hurt him, I beg you. The feud relates to you, does it not? Please help me stop it. What? Me? They're not my type. Their ears are a little short. Silgani, at long last I found you. Hear me, my love. Sir Tituan means me no harm. It was a prank, bro. Do you love me now? I'm sorry for causing you alarm, but I couldn't bear the thought of never seeing you again, so I spread a false rumor with help from Zepla. I've heard all about the Drian coin. Will you not tell me why you entrusted me with the seeds and left? It's probably not called Drian coin, right? It's probably like Drian coin. Please believe me when I say it's for the sake of the Drian coin. The rose wasn't made for the extreme cold that had taken Kurthus. Believing the conditions to be ideal in Black Shroud, I brought the seeds here, where I met you. But not only did I fail in my duty to my house, I violated its rules. I have no right to be happy. That's a little excessive. That's a little weird. This is why I chose to entrust you with the seeds. 'Twas an unkind thing I did to you, and I'm truly sorry. Couldn't you just tell him that before? When I heard that the roses would be handed out during Valentine's Day, couldn't help but come and see for myself, though I knew that I couldn't stay. Silkany, to think that you carried such a burden. But whatever you may have done, you've every right to be happy. Oh, here we go. It is thanks to you, the Drian coin now adorns the city, bringing happiness to all. You're a brilliant botanist, and the guild would surely welcome you as a member. Will you not do me the honor of growing roses beside me, my love? 'Tis true you violated the rules of House Halenart, yet you did so with noble intent, and your actions saved our most precious rose from extinction. In recognition of this, I'll speak in your defense. I'll make a recommendation to our house that we officially entrust the growing of the Drian coin to the Botanist Guild.
Thank you, Optimus Prime.
Sweet. Hey. Zerka Games, thank you very much for subbing with Amazon Prime. I really appreciate you doing that. Thank you. Thank you. Laura Unworthy though I may be, I would gladly grow roses beside you for all my days. That's nice. Great. Now kiss. Kiss! Kiss! All's well that ends well. Mayhap you'd like to say a few words to the happy couple? I do? What do I want to say? Okay, let's go back to discard. Got it. Let's go back to the amphitheater and wrap this up so I can get my quest reward. Okay. I mean, it was decent. It was alright. It was better than the Christmas one. Definitely had more going on than the Christmas. It was a nice moment at the end. That was sweet. Okay. Welcome back, Zepla. Loravik and Silgany have told me all. On behalf of the emissaries, I thank you for helping them to find one another again. Great. I must say, 'tis truly felicitous that the Drian coin should reunite the people who grew them. They are a wonderful token of one's love, and should you have a special someone in your heart, Zepla, I urge you to present them with a bouquet as well. Okay. I'll go find Arendelle. Let's see. It's Valentine's. Where is it? What's it called? Snowdrops on Roses? No. Bouquet. I can't find it. I can't find that. Oh, here it is. Oh my gosh, you can see her undies. Gotta be careful with that one. That's nice. I guess you could... It's for screenshots, right? Okay. New FFXV player after 18-ish years of WoW. Absolutely completely lost till I found your YouTube channel. Thanks for all you do. Wow, that's awesome! I'm so glad to hear that. I now have a WoW YouTube channel as well, and I'm currently really hard at work on some new player guides for that game. Man, it's a lot of work, dude. Like, I haven't made a new player guide in a while. It's like a lot you have to do. It's like a lot of work. It's like a lot of stuff to like learn. You gave me a nut. It's a coconut, which is actually not a nut, right? I just think it's a fruit. Yeah. Cool. Yeah. Okay. Other stuff that I wanted to look at here today. I think there was some Genshin reacts I wanted to do really quick. I'm gonna go ahead and watch this. Mizuki stuff. This is 2-minute video. Any rant videos for your WoW content? Not right now. I'm working on like a actually helpful video at the moment, and it's taking a lot of my energy. I didn't really level much in hardcore this week because I've been working on this video. Yeah. I don't really have anything to rant about right now, I think. Most recent rant I did was about wanting to be a night elf shaman. But, I mean, if I'm feeling it, I'm sure that I'll do one. Key video. Character teaser. 2 minutes. I've heard that her story quest is really cute, so I kind of want to do that at some point next week. Not today. Oh my gosh, she's a therapist? Reality and dreams, which is, I can't read that fast. It's like a whole anime.
Don't be nervous. Come right on in.
It's like MC Escher painting.
When we suppress our emotions, our dreams are where they manifest themselves. And the deeper
it's like
we
the
bury
dream.
them, the more likely they are to manifest as nightmares.
Wow. This is really cool art style.
job
Amazing. Oh my
Is to
god.
help you digest those emotions.
She's a dream therapist? This is badass. I love this.
I'm not a kid anymore. I can do this on my own.
It's an old god got her. Wow, what a nice song! Oh my god, I
You don't want
love
your parents to
it!
worry. I understand.
Yay!
But keeping
It's
everything
like-
bottled up will only worry them all the more.
Old school anime.
You're doing
I
just
love
great.
this.
It's okay to need help sometimes.
Yeah. It's okay. You can fly. Yeah.
And there's no harm in being a kid again. Once in a while.
Oh.
You're right.
This is about healing. Good. Very good. Same, little guy. I know, it's really sweet.
Huh? Huh. Welcome. Now what can I help you with today?
Me. Heal me, girl. I'm next. That was so wholesome and cute. Oh my god, I loved it. It felt very warm and fuzzy to watch that. It's good. Good. So cozy. That's Genshin is peak at being a cozy vibes. They really know that. They know how to do that really well. Okay, and the other is the trailer. Before I do that, Zig asked, would you recommend retail or classic WoW for a beginner? I personally would recommend retail, but that's my personal opinion. And I have the next video is like a getting started guide that's gonna briefly cover that, but I feel like I need to make a whole separate video about classic versus retail because it's a whole enchilada. And yesterday I ended up writing so much about classic versus retail and it derailed the entire video. So this is one reason this video is taking me such a long time is it's just I don't want to overwhelm someone who doesn't like even know how to set up a sub by being like, okay, so here's all the things that are great about classic and here's all the things that are great about, like, I feel like that's a different discussion. I don't want to I would recommend retail. So that's what the first guides, it's kind of what the guides are catered toward gonna be. Okay. Trailer for Mizuki.
And now
You can't see that, can ya? There we go.
it's the show that Inazuma's yokai just can't get enough of. Please welcome your host, Yume Mizuki.
Oh no, she has a tail? Is it... She has a tail?
Whatever your troubles are, I'm here to listen. Who wants to go first?
I'll go.
Oh, I don't like this. I don't like that. No. No, that was too creepy. I did not like that at all. No, get rid of that umbrella. It's a demon.
Lasting friendship starts with a good first impression. All right,
Here are.
take it away.
She says
I don't realize I'm acting like a cat till someone sees me. Same. Whoa.
Next up, we
This
have
is very fast. Is it ever too late to rekindle a friendship? This is about her story, right?
suppressed emotions need to be handled with care.
Booty! Ice cream! Cupcake, yeah! Dongle! It's jazz, surprisingly. Jazz is all the rage lately. It's like a game show thing.
I thought sending you might throw her off
Best
her
girl.
game a little. Is this a dream?
Thanks for supporting the show.
It's creepy. It's creepy behavior.
That's enough for one episode.
I didn't like this one as much as the teaser. This was a little bit too chaotic for me. I mean, there's nothing wrong with it, but I like the teaser so much. That was a really tough act to follow. I should have watched this first and then watched the teaser. There was several things that were creepy. I didn't like. Like, I did not like Umbrella. I don't like the whispering, like I don't like that either. I don't know. But I love the teaser thing. Yeah. Okay. So yeah, music was good. It was a little all over the place. But I'm interested in the character, so I'd love to do her story at some point. Yeah. Okay. So I'm kind of did everything that I'd planned on doing here in a Final Fantasy today. Unless there's any extra rewards that I've missed that I don't know about. I think I'm gonna check. Prismatic Heart. Heartfelt Valentine's Day announcement. I don't need this. The poster. I think that's it. It's just the emote. And the... Oh hey, look who's here. 'Twould not be meet before others. Oh, what the fuck? We're well past being a... Girl, what are you suggesting? Y'all go get a room. What the hell? She's so crazy. Oh my god. She really trying to get him to do stuff in public. Okay. Cool, cool. Okay. 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 Well, I think I'm just gonna end the stream here today because I need to finish working on my WoW video and I have a lot of work still left to do. So I'm gonna do that. But I hope to see you on Monday Bunday. I will also see you in game. Of course, we are recruiting for our guilds across Final Fantasy XIV and World of Warcraft. Only Buns is recruiting, so if you're looking for an invite, just join us in our Discord server. Let us know your character name, your server, and your region, and we will get you in. Yeah. I'm also feeling a little off today. I feel like I'm coming down with some kind of a sickness, so I feel like I need to give myself extra rest, but I kind of can't because I've got a lot of work to do. So I'll see you Monday. Take care, and thanks for hanging out with me today, Bun Buns. Enjoy your Valentine's Day and your weekend. Bye. Bye. Bye.